Alright, hello YouTube. I'm Paul, Start over! Start over! See? This is why I don't start! Hello YouTube, I'm Alex, that's Paul.
Hi.
We're here to review the Lego Movie. So.
First off, pretty interesting. I didn't know what to think about it going into the movie. There's a lot of hype.
Honestly, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but honestly, I'd heard a lot about it, but wasn't particularly excited to see it. Yeah. It was something Andrew wanted to do, which is fine. Go see a movie together, but...
coming out of it, it's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's
a kid's movie.
It's a kid's movie. It truly is a kid's movie. I can still appreciate it. I used to play with Legos all the time when I was a kid, so it spoke to the inner child of me.
It brought back it gave me nostalgic feelings.
It definitely did that. I'm happy I went and saw it, but at the same time, this isn't a movie that I'm going to want to go see again.
No.
The only way I'd see it again is if I'm, babysitting one of my younger nephews or nieces and they wanted to watch it. But,
well, let's give a basic premise. So, it's about a construction worker named Emmett. He's a nobody. He literally has, no original thoughts.
He's the sour cream. He just is bland and doesn't really stand out in any particular way.
Yeah.
And it's pretty depressing seeing that.
No, I didn't think it was depressing. It was just that's the way it was. Yeah. So anyway, Emmett, after his job one day, he gets held back at the construction site, sees this chick looking for something, and he falls down a hole. More or less. And then he finds what was it called? I don't even remember.
I did. No idea.
I don't want to spoil it was a piece of something that comes up in the thing that will stop the Craggle.
The Craggle,
yeah.
which is the big thing that's going to destroy...
It's going to freeze them. It's going to freeze all of the Lego universe. Yeah.
So he finds this thing to stop it, and because of that, he's the chosen one.
He's the special
one.
Foreseen in the prophecy. Yeah.
That will restore balance to the Force, so to speak.
There's a little Star Wars in there.
It is.
Honestly, that was probably my favorite part of the movie, but...
The best part about the movie is all the little cameos and just weird references.
There was a lot of stuff in there that younger children wouldn't understand. That not necessarily that it was aimed at adults, but it was aimed at our friend Lance. He saw it with us too. There was this part in the movie where they do a cut and it says 10 seconds later, and then it played some music. And then he mentioned after, that's the music from Double Dare, if you remember that show from Nickelodeon. So,
which I don't, but everyone else
once he pointed it out to me, it was that. So yeah, that's the premise.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the traditional kid story about someone really kind of finding their place in the world and learning to find value in themselves.
Exactly, it was a lot about individuality. But at the same time, there was part that you can be an individual and be part of a team.
Yeah.
So.
Sharing is caring and it can be fun.
How about we talk about some of the voice actors a little bit?
Sure.
So, the guy who voices Emmett is named Chris Pratt. I had no idea who he was before I looked him up, just before we started recording this.
Looking at the things that he's been in, I'm going to be kind of honest, he's a bit of a nobody. But I think that's good, that's in service.
Yeah. Or, you know what, we shouldn't say he's a nobody. He's been in some high-profile movies. He's been in Zero Dark 30. He voice acted in Her as the alien child in the video game. It's just that he probably didn't have the biggest roles.
Right. So.
And honestly, besides her, I hadn't seen any of the movies he's been in. So that's part of it too.
So after this, I don't know if this means he's going to be an up and comer to watch in the next couple of years, but yeah, I think he did a really good job overall.
He made it believable as he
sounded
like an average guy.
He did. It's hard. I feel that anybody trying to be average, like you can get into by trying to be average. I think a lot of actors would overact or underact, and would get into a lot of just really get kind of off base. But he did play the just normal average Joe to kind of a T.
Yeah. What is the chick's name that plays Wild Stuff? Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
She's been in lots of stuff with Seth Rogen. That's what I know her from.
Oh, she's the blonde chick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah, that's about it. She was good.
She was good and nothing special. Like for our last review, hopefully
if you watched our last review about the movie Her, if you haven't, go watch it, please.
Go watch Her and our review.
Watch our review and then Her.
But like in that, we kind of said that Scarlett Johansson kind of set the bar pretty high for voice acting.
But it was a different kind of voice acting, though.
True, but it's now some of these decent performances in this film. Like I almost just can't think of them. I can't give them the respect that they deserve just because they're not really as high.
I understand. Also, Will Ferrell's in this.
Will Ferrell
does
as President Business.
Who the fuck came up with that name? Just what the hell?
See, that's the reason that I guess like Fox News is getting all up in a bunch about this.
Fuck Fox News.
That's fair, but
if someone is watching this and you like Fox News, I'm sorry for that comment. I don't agree with what they say. For the most part.
I generally don't either, but I can see why a lot of people would be angry that in a kid's movie they're kind of equating business to evil, kind of.
But at the end, he gets fairly redeemed. So
well, he does, sure, but
he's President Business.
He's President Business. It's
whatever. We're done.
Either way, though, but. Will Ferrell does a great job. He's funny, but he's also really relatable at times, and
Liam Neeson's in the movie. He's good cop, bad cop.
Good cop, bad cop. He might be my favorite character in the movie.
No.
Okay,
there's one other that you probably liked more, only for the voice actor.
No,
we'll talk about him next.
I actually am still gonna give it to good cop, bad cop.
Wow.
So the cool thing about good cop, bad cop is...
if you ever played with Legos and you had the ones that had faces on both sides...
like, literally, one of his faces is, like, it's really mean and stern, and then it'll, like, twist around and then be a really nice guy, so he's a good cop and a bad cop and just shifts.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil this part for you. At one point, he gets the good cop erased off of himself, and then later in the movie, he just draws it back on
with just like a Sharpie.
Yeah,
it looks like crap,
like crude. Just.
But I haven't heard Liam Neeson do a lot of voice acting besides Chronicles of Narnia. Is the last thing I can think of.
What was he?
He was Aslan.
Oh, well, wow!
I
can't believe I didn't know that.
Voice of God.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised. I thought he was funny. I thought he was really relatable. He did a really great job.
No way. I'm looking at a cast list. Channing Tatum was Superman.
Channing... I mean, that's the other thing, too. There is a ton of, like, characters from...
Cameos. Cameos. Well, from voice actors, sorry.
There's... Oh, I was just going to say, like, characters.
I know, there's characters from, like, everything.
There's, like, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, who's just totally wants...
Voiced by Jonah Hill.
And he kind of wants
Superman's dick. A little bit.
So... that's horrible, but also there's a... I don't want to spoil that cameo.
What?
A certain African-American with style later on with the rest of the MF crew.
What? Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
there you go.
that's right.
There's some great cameos in here, both by the voice actors and the different characters that show up from the different Lego sets. And, I didn't know that all of these different, other franchises from other things, I didn't know they all had Lego sets, honestly.
Well, though, like, all the superheroes, they've been around for, like, 80 plus years.
True.
So, well, some of them.
So, I guess that makes sense that they would have, like, a Lego whatever.
Yeah, but
for most of them.
There's two more voice actors we need to talk about. Morgan Freeman, as, what was his name? Vitruvius.
Vitruvius.
The old wizard guy.
He's awesome.
Well, it's Morgan Freeman.
You can't. Morgan Freeman has never done a bad voice acting job in his life, and
no.
he can't.
I think it's impossible. Honestly, I really do.
Like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I have a homosexual relationship with Morgan Freeman. He's my man crush.
Just as an aside, there was a preview for Elton John before the movie.
Oh no! Don't bring this up.
It's coming up. So I don't even remember what I said to you, but I turned over and said something to him. No. What I said was
he was turning to someone else.
Andrew was sitting next to me, and he just said no, and then I turned to him and I said, "Elton John is a classy motherfucker," and then I turned to Paul and said, "Elton John is a classy motherfucker," and then you said,
"I do." And then, of course, there was a bit of a pause, and I said, "I should probably retract that because that might be a possibility." Now I'm half expecting to get a call from Elton John's people, be like, "So, when you want to set this up, we'll fly you out."
We'll fly. That was my.
There you
we'll
go.
fly you out. That was me. Okay, so last voice actor that we need to talk about is Will Arnett as Batman. Which, honestly, his speaking role is great, but the song he sings.
Batman sings a certain song about his deepest, darkest feelings in one part, and oh my goodness! Like that Will Arnett just walked into the studio.
He ad-libbed that.
So bad.
Well, if you've seen Arrested Development, you know about Franklin. That was a total Franklin moment.
So, Will Arnett was great.
That might have been my favorite part of the movie.
Batman.
Well,
not
not him, but just that song. It was great.
So pretty strong performances all around. Not spectacular, I would say.
They're
but
good enough for a kids movie.
For a kids movie, I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Just like general thoughts before we give scores.
Oh, I think we should also how do you like the plot? Let's talk about the plot a little bit.
We did talk about the plot.
Well, we gave a summary, but what do we think
fine.
about it?
It was a typical kids movie plot. I'll just put it like that. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was pretty average.
It was pretty simplistic, but I'll just say I called where they were going with it really early.
Well, it's just I don't want to spoil stuff, so we'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that, but it's pretty touching in a way. Overall,
in a way that most kids' movies are touching, sure.
I liked it, but yet again, it is limited, unfortunately, by being a kids' movie. Like, they try and throw in some stuff for older audiences, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yep.
All right.
General closing thoughts.
You gonna give it a score first, at least?
I'm gonna give it a score after.
Okay, well, general thoughts for me, yeah, I like the Lego Movie. I'm pretty happy with the $11.50 I paid for it. I'm not going to see it again, probably. I'll have forgotten it probably, in a couple weeks.
Couple weeks, yeah.
But, I had fun. There was some really good performances, and Will Arnett as Batman, Morgan Freeman and Liam Neeson. You can't really go too wrong.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with you in that I would not spend $11 on this movie. If you want to see it, I would wait until it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, okay, I mean, that's fair.
I would much rather have spent like $3 renting it.
Okay, I would wait for this to go to like a $3 movie theater, like right before it
the
comes.
Crest, sure.
Like for us, we're up in Mount Lake Terrace. We have a movie theater called the Crest where you can pay like $3 to see a movie.
It's $3 to see any movie, but the movies are
about to come to DVD. Like haven't quite yet, but are about to. So I think like $3 to $4.
Sure,
is
I would
really
pay $3 to see it. Scores.
Okay. For my last review for her,
I know.
I gave the movie a 10 out of 10. I said then, and I'll say it now, I hate giving movies high scores. I just think that way too many people do it. So when I give the Lego Movie a score of a 5 out of 10, that to me, that's decent. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's just, it's going to be a movie that you're really not going to think
It won't
much.
make you care a whole lot.
It's funny. You'll have enjoyed some parts of it, but ultimately it's going to be forgettable.
I'm pretty similar. I would give it like a 6, maybe a 6.5 at the most. And, I mean, if you like kids' movies, you'll enjoy this movie.
Yeah. Especially if you're a parent, and if you have kids.
Take your kids to see this movie.
Take your kids to see it, sure.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, I think that's it.
I think that's...
Thanks for watching. This probably got to about 20 minutes, so...
Oh, no way.
Probably. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Couch Crew.
Because you